Tone Dog, AEW, and WWE. Bad Blood is coming up, it says here. Gunther trolls Bret Hart by telling him he loves Bill Goldberg. What a...
Literally like one of the best lines in wrestling in a very long time.
That was incredible.
This says Raw will be 2 hours the rest of 2024, and then it goes back to 3 hours. And is SmackDown going to be 3 hours, is what I heard, too?
So I don't know if that's just like the premiere.
I'm not sure about that either. That's a lot of wrestling.
I think a lot of people are making a lot of assumptions.
Yeah.
Well, if there's one thing I'm good at, it's assuming things.
I'm going to say this. This was moment of the year when they announced that Raw is only going to be 2 hours instead of 3. If SmackDown is 3 hours instead of 2, that would be one of the worst moments ever. Ooh. And if Raw goes back to 3 hours after being 2 hours for the next 3 months, very upsetting.
Okay. Well, I do think Raw is going to go back to being.
I swear to God, you're about to be the most upset in your life.
Bro, 3 hours, no commercials on Netflix?
I don't know if it's going to be no commercials or not. But.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be commercials. A lot of commercials. It's
commercials on Netflix.
Probably same amount of commercials.
Commercials on Netflix.
Yes.
I mean, it might just be the same fucking ads over and over.
Yeah, it's how ad revenue works. They're not going to lose that.
I don't know how it works.
All right, well, listen, we have to talk about the most important thing that happened in wrestling this week, but we got to leave the WWE realm because they ain't where it's at right now. Right. The money is in AEW. Tony Khan's business is red fucking hot, baby.
True, but the money is in AEW.
Oh, it is. It is dead true, my friend, and you are get your jealous hats out.
Your friends?
My friends? Where? AEW, my friends? You guys, my friends? Yeah, I got plenty of friends.
Mike was your friend.
Mike is my friend.
I am?
He stayed at my home. When he came to Philadelphia, he stayed at my home. He fucking leaned on me when he was at one of his saddest moments. I carried him.
What happened?
That is exactly what happened. You were terrified you were going to go to WrestleMania. I gave you my ticket.
Was that terrible?
And then I bought my own ticket and stuck my ass in there because I was afraid that I was going to watch my friend cry. No, good dude. Everson's a great dude. Everson is a great dude. There's no doubt about that. But, you guys are kind of jerk-offs. But, with that said, we have to talk about All Out. One of the greatest pay-per-views since All In. It is one of my...
You know what? I agree with that.
One of my favorite... I will say this. I have it...
One of the pay-per-views since All In.
I have it as better than All In. I have it as the best pay-per-view of the year, and I'm saying this now with the bottom of my heart. It has my match of the year in it. That's
so
how.
So basically, what you're gonna do is every time you're gonna say it was better than the previous one, and it has your match of the year. Got it?
No, because that's not what I've done. I've been very honest with these, and I'm being very honest again. I'm being very honest again. This was the best pay-per-view of any company this year, and my match of the year is on this card. I'm very honest.
When you're being honest, you got to shout it from the rooftops. That's for sure.
Well, no. Here's the problem. I got to say it because you call my sincerity into question all the time. I mean, I can't help that. I'm just.
It isn't questionable.
No, yeah, because you won't stop. Because you won't stop.
Jack Perry's match of the year, then.
That's my opinion.
Sincerity's out the fucking window.
That's my opinion. That match slapped. Okay. And the ending sequence was one of my favorites in wrestling ever. That's one of my favorite moments of wrestling history.
It was a post-match angle.
It's an ending sequence. It's part of the whole thing. The ending
sequence was the ass fucking way that the match ended.
That's not true. That's not true. It was a great match. Great match, great ending, and then there's that ending sequence, which was absolutely chef's kiss delicious. Get your D'Lo Brown heads at... oh, no, we don't have to do that. We're just reviewing now. We're just jiving. We're just jiving. We're just having a conversation. D'Lo, leave your head alone. Hangman Page, Swerve Strickland, Lights Out match. Some people went...
Lights Out steel cage match.
So, yeah, some people said it went too far. For me, I don't feel like it went far enough.
You thought there should have been murder.
Well, we almost got it. People were fucking wigged out about the needle in the cheek. Anybody who's watched death matches for 5 minutes in the last decade has seen that a bunch of times. Ricky Shane Page is the first person I ever saw do that shit. And he's like, and then I saw an interview with him and he said, oh, it's not that big deal. It just goes right through the fucking side of your cheek. It actually doesn't hurt that much at all.
Yeah, that's all.
That's all. Not a big deal. I don't know why everybody's crying. You know what I mean? Like, shut up a little bit here.
I didn't like that spot.
Yeah, of course you're not, because you're a pussy.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, no worries, dude. But for the deathmatch enthusiasts like myself, this was a fantastic match. Again, it's hard to beat this match. Somehow Bryan Danielson and Jack Perry did it. But this was I think this was Swerve and Adam Page's best match. And I think in my opinion, would have been at least 5 stars. So I don't know what Dave's. Did you get Dave's rating?
I don't think it's their best match.
I do. I think it was the best match.
The Texas
death match was way better.
Oh, the bleeding in each other's mouth. I like it. That was great, but I like this one better. I think I was also more hyped leading into this match because of the house burning, which was honestly one of my favorite fucking segments of the year. I love that segment.
That was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
great segment.
Him going down and burning the man's. The best part is that the dirt sheets were all like, "Oh, Swerve bought this old house," and it was like,
the dirt sheets say he fucking tweeted.
No, I watched the dirt sheets. I'm saying like all the news websites, the Wrestling Incs of the world, they all covered it like it was an actual news story and not part of a storyline.
Oh, I see.
Yes, and I even saw that a local news organization picked it up. That's like awesome. Like they got worked into a shoot, brother.
I have a legit question.
Sure.
After that guy.
Yeah, turn your motorcycle down for a second.
Terry.
Comply, Ty.
The crowd chanted this during the match, and I was like, oh, they just fucking spoiled a future spot in the match, and it didn't happen. The crowd wanted fire. I thought we were getting a flaming table. The guy lit his fucking house on fire. I definitely thought we were getting fire in this match. Did you guys also think we were going to get fire?
I can see.
It made sense.
I totally see where you're coming from, and I didn't even think about it, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay.
That's just me.
But they just literally did, like, a fucking fire spot with Jungle Boy and Darby Allin. Which, maybe, if you didn't do shit like that so often, you could make it special and do it when it calls for it.
It was special in that moment, too.
Wasn't.
It was. That match was too short, but, I mean, it was fun as shit.
I like that match.
Yeah, I really did, too. Dave hated it.
All right. Here's the thing, Don. You want to go first?
What do you want? Just give me what I just did. I said I love it. So I love the match. It's a great match.
Right, listen.
They're best.
Oh, yeah, you did say that. It's not their best. It was good. I don't think this was match of the night. I can understand why someone would. But my thing with this is you ramp up the show. First off, the Dynamite angle is absolutely incredible. It's one of the best angles that they've ever done, or segments they've ever done. Maybe the best since like MJF and Jericho for me, of them in their showcase. But when you have matches like Willow and Chris Statlander just a couple hours before, and then you do an angle with Danielson literally getting suffocated with a fucking plastic bag. And by the way, just poke your mouth. Just poke a little hole.
No, that's very true. That's a great piece of advice. You just literally open your mouth and shove your finger in there, and that'll allow the it's very simple.
So he needs to do some parenting. But when you have those things,
hold on, what?
Yeah, you should.
He needs to tell Buddy and Birdie if they ever have a plastic bag put on their head to open the fucking
If a man named John Moxley ever comes through this door with a plastic bag, he's not shopping.
Would it shock you at this point if John Moxley did that?
No, that's why I love Moxley so much. He's turned into Terry Funk, and it's incredible.
But my point
is... He didn't care. Hold on real quick. He didn't care one bit. He looked like he was trying to kill him, and he was just like, whatever. Like, he's just so indifferent to it. He's like, he's a kid. It's amazing.
I think he was waiting like, hey, let's see how smart D-Bry is. Fucking just poke a little hole.
Not very.
He's like, this was easy.
But when that happens throughout the show, this is why, like, when Vince would book 3 Hell in a Cell matches on the same show, it loses its luster by the main event.
Diminishing returns.
Yes. No, and that's how I felt about this main event. Where if you didn't have Chris Statlander and Willow had a fucking awesome streak.
That was a banger. That might have been the best hardcore women's match I've ever seen.
That was awesome.
I mean,
they did a great job. But then you get to the main event. And some of the things that they were doing, I was like, this isn't better than I just saw earlier tonight. So I
liked Chris and Willow better than I liked the main event.
Really? I mean, I don't even...
I think I agree with that.
I don't even argue that.
Part of it is that it was early in the show, and it's the first thing you're really getting the hardcore element for the night. And so that's where I come from when it comes to the main event. I don't think it was nearly as good, actually, as their Texas Death match.
And Hangman Swerve was the match I was most looking forward to going into the night because of the angle, because it was the long-running feud. Like, they played it right. Like, you have 2 pay-per-views 2 weeks between each other, which I still think is stupid to do. But, hey, we're going to go back to this feud that we've had going for a long time. And so we don't need a whole lot of time to be able to build to this. So I thought everything was right about it. I thought the placement was right. I thought it was right to put it in the main event. But I agree with BG. Like, you do see shit like this over and over and over again on their shows. And they tried to up the ante even more by doing the needle spot, which... not a big fan of. Doing the chair shot that they had, which I'm not a big fan of. you could say you gimmick something, but you're still hitting them over the head with it.
Oh, get over it.
There's still
they hit each other in the head in football all the time. Get over it.
Which, yeah, they try to prevent that, by the way.
Yeah, and guess what? They still do it almost every fucking play. Offensive linemen hit heads every fucking play.
Sure, and that's why they're introducing the Guardian caps, because they're trying to limit it.
I wish you wore one.
Thank you for wanting my brain to be safe.
Yes, I'm very concerned for you, because your shit's broken.
I thought the best spot in this match was the Cinderblock spot, was the power bomb to Swerve on the Cinderblock, because I thought, like, that looked like it fucking hurt to land like that on a Cinderblock. Yeah, that was sick. So, again, it wasn't a bad match by any stretch. It did not live up to the expectations I had for it, and I agree with BJ. It was certainly not better than their Texas Death match, and it was not match of the night.
Agree to disagree, and it wasn't, because the match of the night was actually Bryan Danielson against Jack Perry.
I don't know.
Of all the matches you could choose, it's insane.
Incredible finishing sequence, ending sequence to the whole segment. I mean, from the bottom of my heart, the idea of Shane McMahon confirmed to AEW 100%. He's going to lead the stable. It's Shane and Mox going to lead the stable. You bet your fucking bottom dollar, big man. 100.
I already lose too many in NFL.
Yeah, but it's very fair. So I mean, this was my match of the night. I have it as my match of the year, and honestly, like I said, with is my,
I can't even believe
it's my match of the year. I don't know.
It's not a top PG. I don't think it's a top 100 match this year.
Well, that's because you hate it.
Top 3 on the show.
I mean, I disagree. I think it's my favorite match of the year.
It's probably not top 5 on the show.
It's maybe top 4 if you're being generous on this show.
It's my favorite. It's my second favorite Daniel Bryan match I've seen. True.
Since all in.
I think Melt's as bad as he wants to.
Since all in, I'd be so on board with you.
Even Melt's is gonna struggle to fake give this 5 stars.
That's not true. That's 5.25. The truth is, again, I mean, this is just my opinion. I can only have my opinions. I think this is this might be Daniel Bryanson's second or third best AEW match.
I thought you were going to say this is Magnus Opus. What?
Definitely his best match this year.
What is happening? I don't know if we watched the same pay-per-view. Osprey and Pack had such a better match.
It was that they was great. It was awesome. It was great. That match was. Will Osprey's right.
Pack had an all-time classic, and you're telling me that Danielson and Perry was better.
Well, I don't always agree with Dave. Do you?
Really?
Do you?
I don't ever really agree.
No, I never do.
Okay.
But I agree with him that Osprey and Pack was the best match on this fucking card.
Huh?
The post-match angle, though, just fucking
what, Osprey and Pack?
No, not that one.
Oh, okay. We gotta talk about that post-match angle too.
Getting fucking suffocated. The turn. First off, sell a fucking uppercut, please. But I texted Mike and George. I was like, it'd be awesome if they fucking turn. Actually, what I said was when Christian came down and Moss came out, I always said it would have been awesome if he just stepped aside. They did something better than that. Because I really wanted them to turn on Danielson. He's been so popular, of course, that they had the whole retirement tour going on, basically. Mm-hmm. And so for Mox has been acting like a heel. So basically,
he's been a fucking monster, and he's been fantastic.
So basically, he did like a fucking Dom Mysterio where he fucking turned more heel. Mm-hmm. And I love when that shit happens. And then to have Claudio and Pac, because Pac was like a little out of place. So to have them now with Moxley, love it. That's a great.
And then you cut out the bum of the group, Wheeler.
That's not true. That's not true.
It is true.
It's not true. You leave him alone. He's a fucking ace. He's great.
I think the best part about this is potentially has Claudio get a little bit more shine, and maybe we get Danielson against Claudio on the way to Danielson and Mox.
I think you're getting that. I think you're getting Mox. I think you're getting Nigel versus Bryan Danielson. I think you're getting a lot of fun stuff coming up here.
Nigel leading this group?
No, not leading the group. It's going to be completely separate about it. But they'll be getting involved. But Nigel will do something. I know it.
I think it's ridiculous to suggest this was match of the night. This was anywhere in the conversation of match of the year. For Bryan Danielson terms, this is as average of a match as you can have with him involved in it. It speaks to how fucking ass Jack Perry is. I was told by Donnie that he was so over as a heel. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, what a great choice. He's going to be so over as a heel in Chicago with the fans chanting CM Punk. That's really what you want. You want the fans chanting CM Punk, a guy in another company. But you know what happened? Dude stepped through the fucking curtain. No pop. crickets.
That's not
this
true.
Dude is
That's
ass.
not true.
That's
100% not true.
He's a bum.
He's not a bum at all. He's fucking talented as shit. And this is
the match. Bryan Danielson did all he could to carry his fucking bum ass, and he couldn't really do anything with it. The match was nothing. The post-match angle, that's a different story. That was good. Besides, as BG mentioned, like the bag thing, like it made Danielson kind of look stupid. But the fact that you have Moxley and Claudio and Pac turning on him, I like that. That's a really good, strong, heel stable. Mox versus Danielson, like I remember, we got it for a little while when the Blackpool Combat Club formed.
Yep.
They were facing each other. People came in and kind of made them become allies. You can kind of draw on that. Talk about how like Moxley never wanted to be an ally with Daniel Bryan.
Always second fiddle. Tired of it.
So I'm all in on Danielson and Moxley, but this match was nothing special whatsoever.
That's very stupid. Will Osprey and Pac did what we thought they were gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is a great match.
For real though, Will Osprey does not miss. The man is that is a walk-in match of the year contender every time.
I mean, it's kind of easy. We don't really have to sell too many.
Have any psychology or anything? Yeah.
I mean, you could say that, but we're about to get Ricochet versus Will Osprey, and I got to tell you, I couldn't be harder.
Well, here's the real question then, Donnie. Mm-hmm. Is it better than their fucking viral New Japan match, or will it be not as good?
How about the promo?
No idea. I thought Ricochet wasn't that bad.
Before you say any words, okay? You already lied through your fucking teeth about Jack Perry. Let's have a little honesty for once.
Okay, I think Ricochet has always been rigid on the microphone, and I think this was a little bit better than I expected, but still not great.
Did you expect it to be the worst thing you ever saw?
Again.
If you did, it was... I don't know if it was better than that.
No, I think you're being too hard on him, and I don't like that.
It was bad. It was what I expected it to be, which was really bad.
Promo bad, match will be great. This match with Osprey and Pac was match of the night by far for me. This was the match I was most looking forward to, and they delivered. I do think the ending, as is typical with an Osprey match, and for the most part, it has become a Strickland staple as well, but it just went too much for no reason. They had a segment, they had a spot. I was like, fucking brilliant ending. Then they get a kick out. Here's the next one. Oh, all right. Brilliant. Nope, kick out. And then, okay, here we go. Finally, the ending. And it's just like...
So basically, hold on. So basically, you got 3 incredible endings and you're crying about it.
No, because that's not how it works.
I mean, it is.
It's not. Because
it literally
is. It's basically cheating.
It's not cheating. What are you talking about?
Just to get more stars.
No, it's not. It's how wrestling, modern wrestling has morphed.
Every wrestler can fucking do. Jack Perry was kicking out of things you should not be kicking out of for fucking Jack Perry.
Why? Fighting spirit.
It's people. Yeah, right. So fighting spirit just means kick out of every single fucking thing that happens to you and devalue every fucking move that happens.
You're not devalue. What are you? Jake the Snake Roberts, dude?
That's what it is.
It's not.
Today's Roberts. I thought you fucking respected him more
in
than
today, but he's wrong about today's wrestling. I'm sorry. It's different now. Get over it, dude. We're not on your lawn. I don't give a shit.
Let me just say about this match. It is my match of the night, even though there was a lot of fucking Osprey-related things that bothered me in this match. But the athleticism in this match and the fucking high-risk moves were so far beyond anything else that was on this card. I'll still give it match of the night, but we had the same Osprey issues. He fucking is supposed to have this horrible shoulder injury. He's got it all taped up. He get fucking lands on it. He's dropped on his head on the hardest part of the ring multiple times. He just never sells it.
Doesn't need to, buddy. Like he is. He sells it, but he's fighting through it, man. Watch New Japan one time.
He doesn't sell it, and I agree with the thing. I really agree with though is BG. Where it should have been the finish, and it was the best spot of the match, and probably the best spot of the night was where Pac goes to hit him with, I think it was a poison rana off the top rope, and he lands on his feet. That was sick. And it was like, and then Pac goes down, and he like has no idea, and he turns around, and Osprey's standing there on his feet. That was absolutely fucking awesome. And then he hits him with the elbow, and that should be it. That should be the match, because that was perfect. The crowd was like hyped beyond belief at that point. End it right there. But then they have to do another sequence, and the crowd was not as hyped because you went from the crescendo, and then you ended it at a lower point. So why would you do that?
That's like a jerk off. Hold on a minute. I mean, you could say that, but if that's not the plan before the match, what am I supposed to do? Because the crowd's popping early. I gotta go with that.
Called in the ring. That's what people have done for fucking
Macho Man planned out matches meticulously and followed them to a T.
Sure, but he also listened to the crowd.
Can I ask you a legit question, Donnie?
Sure. All I do is get legit
From your heart.
All I got. My black ass heart.
From your heart. Pac hits Osprey with the poison rana early in the match.
Yep.
Then they go to do it from the top rope. Everyone knows what's happening. Osprey lands on his feet. This is a spot that they knew was going to happen. They planned
for sure.
This,
incredible.
Right?
Moment.
Okay. We're all in agreement. You don't think that the crowd would pop for that?
Oh no, they definitely knew, but they thought, and the crowd did go wild for the actual ending too.
Of course.
No, not to that degree.
You have fucking no parameter of say what
I watched it.
I watched it too. They popped like crazy. They were super excited.
Much less loud.
See, you're just saying much less loud. You have nothing to back that. I did not hear
I
it like that.
I didn't break out my fucking decibel ring.
I don't know. You're acting like you fucking did.
Triple H.
That's why you're acting like you did.
Much less loud.
All right, and Mercedes Moné.
I fucking watched wrestling for 30 years. I think I could tell if a crowd's louder or quieter.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think you would, but you don't. Mercedes Moné, Hikaru Shida. I thought this was better than their TV match, and I thought it was better than the match against Britt Baker. So, moving in the right direction.
Well, yeah, I mean,
certainly better than the match against Britt Baker. I'm starting to get a little worried, though. Can I tell you that?
What? It didn't take you long to turn on Mercedes Moné, dude. Oh, well,
did you notice the very weird part of this match, or no?
Her wig falling off?
No, that.
Ew.
So, maybe that's what it was related to. But Shida hits her with 3 kicks to the head, right? And then Shida goes to cover, and she immediately kicks out of it, rolls far away out of the ring.
Okay.
Which was weird. And then.
You saying she got knocked loopy?
I don't know. I don't know what it was. I don't know. Was she mad? Was she trying to adjust her wig? Was she not loopy? I don't know. But it was very strange. And I've been saying this for a long time. I assume you agree. The finisher's got to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poop finisher. Didn't like it in New Japan when she couldn't land it.
Right. She never really hits it, and this was the farthest she's ever come from hitting it. I feel like. Do the bank statement. That was a great fucking finish.
I'll be honest with you, just do a fucking DDT. I don't give a shit what you do. Just don't do this one anymore.
It's cool in theory, but in execution is yet to nail. Yeah. So it's got to stop.
Honestly, she has nailed it in the past, and even then, not wowed by it.
Yeah.
The percentage chance of hitting that is so low.
Just do a frog splash. You fucking love Eddie so much. Just do a frog splash.
It kind of reminds me of LA Knight's BFT, which I think, or BT, whatever the fuck it is, because it looks fucking awful every time he does it.
Yeah, I don't know LA Knight for his wrestling, I'll say that.
Sure. But his finish looks shit every single time.
Yeah, this match was good. Again, I agree with the finisher. But again, I think this was a better match than we got between the two women, and better than the last one.
They've never mentioned the Mercedes versus Britt match since then. They erased it from history.
That's not true. They've talked about it several times. And they literally Tony Khan out here addressing the future Britt Baker in press conferences. So,
okay, in a press conference. He was asked about it.
MJF, Daniel Garcia. Tell me again. Listen, you can say Daniel Garcia's personality is dull, and you have that's your opinion. That's fine. I kind of like his quiet charisma. But this match was a banger, and MJF is a boss.
I'm glad MJF won. I was afraid Daniel Garcia was going to win.
Nah, listen. There's a hierarchy. Come on.
Yeah, it was fine.
That was good.
I'd rather not see MJF with mid-carders.
I mean, I actually do think Daniel Garcia is upper mid-card talent. I'm fine with that, though. You need those guys, too. Could be like Kurt Hennig.
Stop! Do not! Ever!
Oh, my God.
Hey, dude.
Ever.
They call him Mr. Perfect. Red Death, Mr. Perfect.
Come ever on, compare Daniel Garcia to fucking Mr. Perfect.
Bobby Heenan's got a kid somewhere. Let's get Bobby Heenan's kid out here.
You just knew in your head. You're like, how can I fucking set this guy off? Oh, yeah, name one of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
Can I tell you something?
Garcia's like him.
I'd like to introduce you to a show called Ring Rust Radio, buddy. Holy shit.
There's a line. You crossed it.
I cross it every fucking week, bud. Every week.
No, this was as bad as anything you've ever said. And you've called women reprehensible names.
Well, so did Artem, apparently.
Yeah, he's be shit.
Yeah,
a bit worse than that.
Yeah, I know. Did a little slap. Chris Statlander beat Willow, and I mean this. Thinking back now, I will go through a bunch in my head as I've gone through here. This may be my favorite women's hardcore match I've ever watched.
You like it better than Britt and Thunder Rosa?
I did.
Okay. I did too, actually, but I thought that match was overrated.
I like that match too. And the other one I thought was because I went back and I still have this on Daily Motion bookmarked. Mariposa and Sexy Star, which was my favorite. And I think this is better than that.
No.
I do. I actually do.
You were calling that your match of the year.
It was my match of the year.
So this match was not even your match of the night? Is better than that?
Tell that to Jack Perry, buddy.
Well, that's because Donnie's sour on Sexy Star because of other things.
Yeah, because she tried to break Rosemary's arm in front of the fucking show. What do you mean, so what?
She's fine. Rosemary's fine. She's on NXT. She's having more success than ever.
I think I would give Becky and Charlotte higher marks than this.
Nah, Charlotte's a bit overrated. That match was not as good as I remembered. I watched about 5 of them today.
I don't believe you. You also said Jack Perry and Danielson your match tonight. I don't believe you on that. So it is what it is.
Different opinions.
Statlander and Willow is probably my second favorite match of the night.
There you go.
This is my second favorite match of the night. Yeah, definitely.
It was great. It was honestly awesome, and I think both women.
And I think they're both awesome.
Yeah, and I love Willow. I think she has true babyface, top babyface potential. Mm-hmm. She's like without a Dickie Steamboat. You know what I mean?
Can I tell you one of my favorite things?
What? Come on, that's not good. You didn't like that?
No, I didn't.
Can I tell you one of my favorite things about this?
Sure, please.
Willow showed up dressed for a street fight.
Yeah.
Not a wrestling match.
Oh, dude, give me knee pads over jeans.
She was wearing jammy pants.
Right.
All day.
But wasn't the regular ring attire. I love when wrestlers do that.
Yeah.
Instead of coming to show, like, it's like, all right, I'm going to wrestle in my trunks in the street. Like, no. Why would you do that?
I honestly...
You need to have jeans and fucking knee pads.
On the outside of the jeans. Like, every time. No, like Dusty Rhodes. It's Dusty Rhodes. Every time he came to the ring, he'd have fucking jeans on, cowboy boots, and fucking knee pads on. Honestly, I'll never forget. I went to a concert one time, and this dude walks in, and he had a cup on the outside of his pants. Okay? I knew then that mosh pit was going to get rough. Because this motherfucker was like, he's like, you can hit anything but my dick. And I was like, holy shit, dude.
That's really funny.
Yeah, I mean, until you're in that mosh pit, that dude's beating your ass, and not as funny then. Kazuchika Okada against Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, and Takashita. Okada won. Never a question, but the match was still really fun.
Can I be honest with you?
Please.
This match and the Young Bucks match. I can understand the Young Bucks being on this because of the post-Danielson angle, but this match especially, this Fatal 4-Way, great for a Dynamite main event. Did not need to be on this card.
We talked about the card last week, and I was like, "Hey, if it's just these 5 matches, all right." Mm-hmm. They did this. They added a couple matches that had no.
We said that. We said they would do that. Yep. Well, no, it's the reason
I knew they would, but they didn't need to.
Well, the reason they're on there is because they got to get these talents on these.
We could have been out in 3 hours.
Yeah, I know, but listen, that's what you like, and that's fine for you. I like my shows a little longer. I don't like my Raws longer. I prefer them 2 hours. But my pay-per-view events, because I like wrestling. Again, at the very core of what I like good in-ring wrestling, right? The story that goes with it is very important. There's no doubt about it. But the core of what I like is great in-ring work. And this was really fun. Should it have been a main event of a television show? Possibly. But it was here, and what I got was really fun. Never in question, never in doubt about what was going on, but, I really enjoyed it.
I was going to say this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, love when the shows were longer for pay-per-views. I was like, let's get everyone on the fucking card.
Yeah, big time. I still feel that way.
Right, okay. But as an adult now, watching so much wrestling, I more appreciate Triple H's style of booking of. We're going to have 5 or 6 matches on the card, and we're going to let those ones with the best stories go on the pay-per-view, and we're going to build also around our weekly television shows so we can have big matches on that show.
I get that too.
Things feel more important.
That's the WWE style, but the AEW is different.
And they could have done that by building out this championship match more over the course of a couple of weeks, and then giving you a great Dynamite main event instead of what was basically a rushed Fatal 4-Way to get onto the show.
To me, it puts Okada and that title in more of a spotlight if you have it main event of Dynamite than it does in the middle of this card with all this other crazy shit going on.
I disagree. I think being on a pay-per-view is the top thing you can be. I think even being on a pay-per-view is bigger than main eventing any Dynamite. So,
I don't agree.
Well, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. We don't agree. Young Bucks beat BCC to retain the tag team championships. Young Bucks are they're fucking put them in the Hall of Fame. Put them in the Hall of Fame already. They are. Look at me. I mean this, Mike.
I'm not listening to your bullshit.
Demolition could never. Demolition could never.
No, they would not wrestle that.
Legion of Doom. They would hold their own. Demolition could never. Demolition could never.
I'm glad you said that.
Legion of Doom and Demolition basically wrestled the same fucking match, but all right.
Yeah. Barry Darsow was not as good.
He was awesome, actually.
He was. He really was. I do know that. That's why I again. But for the record, Demolition could never. So Mike, favorite match, favorite moment, overall grade, bud.
Favorite match, I'm giving it to Osprey and Pack. Favorite moment, I'll say when Mox and the boys and Marina Shafir for some reason turned on.
Because she's a legitimate fighter and a badass. Oh, okay. She's really good at jiu-jitsu.
She's good at promos too.
Oh, let Mox do the talking.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean?
Grade, I'll give it a 7.5.
That's a really good grade, dude.
Yeah.
Again, if you take in the AEW bias, that's like a fucking 8.5 or a 9.
Wasn't as good as All In, wasn't as good as Bash in Berlin, but it wasn't a bad show.
Please, Bash in Berlin was fucking house show in Berlin. It was more like trash in Berlin, but that sucked.
Well,
don't compare that shit. It's stupid. BJ?
I agree with Mike.
Well, that was
Bang.
easy. Bang. Favorite match is also my match of the year. That's Bryan Danielson against Jack Perry for the World Heavyweight Championship. My favorite moment.
I don't think you ever had any credibility in life in general, but if anybody felt you did, I think they know now you don't.
Or I just have different opinions than you. It's okay to have different opinions.
It's not even possible.
No.
I literally just said it for the last 32 minutes. It's 32 minutes, I said. I don't know what you're yelling about. I fucking love it.
I don't get it.
My moment is the classic hypodermic needle spot right in the... as a tale as old as time when you stab your fucking...
I mean, that, to Donnie, that is like a hometown fucking feat right there.
Hold on.
The hypodermic needle to the mouth.
Your match of the night is the match of the fucking year is Danielson and Jack Perry, but the moment of the night is not the turn.
Well, no, because I have to give. Of course, listen. From the bottom of my heart, because a hypodermic needle. It's like one of my favorite moments in AEW history is still Nick Gage, pizza cuttering. Chris Jericho. I love.
The only reason that was good is because of the Pizza Hut commercial.
That played into it. That played into it big time. But the truth is, I love like CZW, ECW style deathmatch stuff. And this is a classic deathmatch thing that's been like for the last decade or so has been used on the independent scene. So to see it on the main a main television show is I love it. I really do. And that's I'm a deathmatch guy. I love that kind of stuff. But yeah, again, Mike, come on. Please tell Brandon Galvin the bag. What is that? If you're a wrestling fan, how do you know that spot?
Sure. Well, as you said, Terry Funk, but and it's not. I like the term, but the bag it's stupid in theory.
I
do not agree with that.
No, because I saw Ric Flair not be able to get out of it, and if Ric Flair can't get out of it, then it's good enough for Bryan Danielson. If I'm honest, yes, some things in wrestling do make the person look foolish when he has to stand there and wait for you to do a flip onto him. You know what I mean? But you have to suspend disbelief, and in that moment, you're right. You could poke the hole.
Claudio should have held his hands behind his back.
See, that's why Danielson needed to sell the uppercut. Right. That way, it would have knocked him out, and then.
I was fine with it.
I didn't like. You know what? This might not be my moment of the night anymore. You're making a lot of good points.
Overall grade, I'm gonna give.
Sell it.
Overall grade.
But it is the fact that there was the turn. That is very cool.
Right.
Overall grade, I'm gonna give it a 17. Okay, I'm gonna give it a 17 out of 10. Out of 10.
Out of 10.
Out of 10.
Well, what was All In?
I think it was like a 14 or 15.
Wow, the scale is.
Well, it's like Dave's scale. It was 1 to 5, and then it was like. Then it was like -5 to 5, and then now it's like -5 to fucking 8.
Infinity.
Mine is I'm doubling mine essentially. So it's it's 1 to 10 still, but you can exceed that if you are exponentially better. And this was exponential. All Out was exponentially better than All In.
Some people go to 11 out of 10, but you go to 17 out of 10.
Well, I've had to progressively get more and more because, they keep pushing the envelope. What am I supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
Right.
There's nothing you can do.
Honest.
Nothing I could do. I couldn't be more honest.